During World War II, between 1 and 2 million African Americans served in the United States. They were part of the military, fighting in major battles such as the Battle of the Bulge and the D-Day invasion. They formed the largest group of African American servicemen in the Army and Navy, and were the first to serve in the Marine Corps since 1798. Despite their significant contributions, they faced severe discrimination and limited opportunities due to the racial segregation policies of the United States military and society at the time. When the Selective Training and Service Act, the nation's first peacetime draft law, was enacted in September 1940, civil rights leaders pressured President Franklin D. Roosevelt to allow black men to register and serve in integrated regiments. Though African Americans had participated in every American conflict since the Revolutionary War, they had always done so in segregated units. The Secretary of War, Henry Stimson, opposed integrating the military even after the 1940 Selective Service Act outlawed racial discrimination. Thus, African Americans could only serve in segregated units. As World War II intensified, Roosevelt allowed black men to register for the draft but maintained segregation in the military. This compromise meant that African American servicemen, while fighting for democracy overseas, were treated as second-class citizens at home. Bases and training facilities, often located in the South, were strictly segregated, with separate blood banks, hospitals, barracks, and recreational facilities for black soldiers. This segregation extended to their work assignments and social interactions. Black soldiers often experienced hostility from white soldiers and local white communities, facing racial slurs and harassment. According to Matthew Delmont, a history professor at Dartmouth College, the treatment of black soldiers was horrendous, with many describing conditions akin to slavery. Due to beliefs that African Americans were unfit for combat or leadership, they were mostly relegated to labor and service units, performing tasks like cooking, mechanics, road building, and unloading supplies. Even those who achieved officer rank could only lead other black soldiers. Throughout U.S. history, black Americans had fought for a nation that enslaved and discriminated against them, often being relegated to menial support duties. It was only when troop numbers lagged that black battalions were allowed to fight, and they often received the most dangerous assignments. Segregation in the military persisted until President Harry Truman ended it in 1948. Despite this, beliefs about race often stalled the use of African American troops in combat units and excluded them from receiving recognition for their service. The first Medal of Honor to an African American World War II veteran was awarded in 1993. African American women also contributed, with about 4,000 joining the Women's Army Corps and serving in roles such as nurses in the Army Nurse Corps and limited numbers in the Navy. However, they often faced menial labor positions and racial segregation. The military's view of African Americans during World War II mirrored the wider American culture. A report from the Army War College described African Americans in derogatory terms, and commanding officers were instructed to manage black subordinates with a mix of praise and ridicule. This attitude hindered the recognition and advancement of black soldiers. Despite these challenges, African American soldiers like the Tuskegee Airmen proved their dedication and valor. The Tuskegee Airmen were the first black military pilots in the United States. Their success in escorting bombers during the war, achieving one of the lowest loss records of all fighter groups, earned them numerous accolades, including presidential unit citations. Their efforts significantly contributed to the Allies' victory in World War II and played a crucial role in the eventual desegregation of the United States military. Another notable example of African American heroism was Dory Miller during the Pearl Harbor attack. Miller, a cook, took over an anti-aircraft gun during the attack despite having no training and shot down enemy planes. His bravery earned him the Navy Cross, making him one of the first American heroes of World War II. The Double V campaign symbolized African Americans' fight for victory over both the Axis powers abroad and racial inequality at home. Promoted by the Pittsburgh Courier, the campaign called for a double victory, one against external enemies and one against domestic discrimination. This campaign laid the groundwork for the post-war civil rights movement, with returning black soldiers becoming more vocal in demanding equal rights and justice. In conclusion, while African American soldiers faced immense discrimination and segregation during World War II, their courage and resilience helped pave the way for significant civil rights advancements. Their stories remind us that heroism transcends racial boundaries, highlighting the importance of unity and mutual support in times of need.